dogs, we need to talk about YCS Richmond, Dortmund, and Guadalajara. That's right. Hablo español. Tienes estudiar español mucho en Duolingo. I have over 661 days of Duolingo. No freezes, no none of that. I still don't know if I got that right. But today, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about the YCSs that happened this weekend. And of course, all of the spiciness. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with ya, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that's your day. Phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. If you guys want to see me say that whole thing in Spanish, hopefully correctly, then go ahead and hype this video up. It really does help us. But today, big dogs, we are going to be talking about something that's not Yu-Gi-Oh for a second. It's called Update Monday. A particular time where I trick you into thinking that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video, when in actuality, I want to make you guys a better person overall. About a month and a half ago or so, I talked about having a daughter and adopting a young lady and all that other stuff and going through the proper channels. And today, I have something really special to show you guys. This is my big back, my baby. I love you so much. I love you too. And you are always, 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 will always be a part of this family, okay? And I love you forever. She has been a complete What, you want me to lie to him? No, but seriously, having another child has definitely been an experience, especially seeing that I have two sons and now having a girl. It's been a transition. One thing that has helped me was my girls' flag football team. Like, just managing all of their personalities and stuff has been phenomenal. So this Update Monday is for all of the parents out there, all of the people that want the best for their kids. All you got to do is do your best, big dog. You can't really go wrong. I know for Valentine's Day, it got to be some fathers in the making out there, because surely you guys did that instead of going to a Yu-Gi-Oh event. You guys didn't do that. With three major events over the weekend for Burst Protocol format, we got to see multiple Yu-Gi-Oh strategies participate. We actually got to see, I could be wrong, so correct me, I think over 6,000 duelists throughout the weekend, which is crazy. To be honest with you guys, I loved it. I thought it was really cool. You got to watch YCS Dortmund for people that are in America waking up, and then later on into the day, you got to watch YCS Richmond. It was like an entire weekend of Yu-Gi-Oh! My only problem is that we couldn't see YCS Guadalajara because no coverage still. I genuinely really need to find out why Konami hates Latin America. Please, for the love of freaking God, get them some coverage. There are a lot of amazing duelists down in Latin America. They all deserve the recognition and they deserve a broadcast just like how we have in North America, well, America, and Europe. I am going to be doing a deep dive on finding out why they don't cover those events. So if you guys have information to why, let us know. I know Canada, it's like some tax thing or something, but I don't know about Latin America and other countries like Australia. But now that that's out of the way, man, we got some things to talk about. I like to start off these type of videos by obviously splitting them up into different sections and talking about the best moments that happened at the YCS stream. I have a few. My first one was round one at YCS Richmond, where the player got dimensional shifter twice. 2 games consecutively. Holy, bro, like what? How do you play against that? It just goes to show that sometimes limited Yu-Gi-Oh cards are a little bit more toxic than unlimited cards because you can't prepare for the one shifter that your opponent might have. And it's only like a 12% chance that you'll open it, but it's a 12% chance that you'll open it. That percentage is independent for games, so that's way more likely to happen than what people think. I also really enjoyed round 6 of YCS Richmond, where we solemn warninged a Nibiru, and the player had to look at it several times. He was like, does this work on Nib? Let me read the Nib. Seeing those new school versus old school interactions definitely warmed my heart. My next favorite moment was easily round 7, the round right after, when a player summoned Alba System Dogmatica to their side of the field. You know, the 4,500 attack Albaz monster that can send cards from the extra deck and break boards? While some players were saying that it was illegally summoned, some players are saying that he used Branded in White to banish cards like Alba Lenatus and Albion, which can't be used as a fusion summon. I still would really like to see his particular Yu-Gi-Oh build and style on Branded because it looked really cool. I would also like to talk about Orlando R taking his time and undercutting the match. If you guys seen that match, it was incredibly frustrating. Now, I'm not saying that this person was deliberately cheating. You ain't hear from me, Konami. Don't ban me. But the commentation was saying he was taking too long. I was saying he was taking too long. It looked like he was taking a little too long for his game. Come on, dog. You gotta do better. I also did see a round where it felt like a player was trying to purposefully prevent the opponent from winning the match. Then he went and asked, oh, so we draw? Bro, what are you on? Some Yu-Gi-Oh players need to learn rulings. Speaking of such, in the very last round of day 1, Pac went against, I can't remember his name right. I want to say Pulo. Don't kill me, guys. I'm sorry. But there was a really interesting ruling that I noticed. In this particular round, Pac had infinite impermanence in the same column as Radiant Typhoon Elation. The Radiant Typhoon player, not Pac, activated Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy his own Radiant Typhoon Elation to dodge infinite impermanence. But that's actually not how that works. Pac even called it out. He was like, wait, that's not how it works. And people in the comment section were saying that Pac was wrong. Wow, it just goes to show that Yu-Gi-Oh players don't know Yu-Gi-Oh. For you guys' future reference, I want to point out that infinite impermanence negates cards in the column. I also want to point out that every card in Yu-Gi-Oh activates and resolves in the same spot. So if a card activates in the column, it resolves in the column, even if it's not in the column. Infinite impermanence 100% negates the spell card. So yeah, we got some bad judging. Now, for future reference, in case you guys want to be able to beat that situation, using Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy the infinite impermanence is the correct move, because infinite impermanence doesn't have a column to negate because the card isn't in the column. Another thing that I noticed, that everybody winning was playing Ravenwing. They had to. Ravenwing is easily the #1 sleeve in the entire universe. In fact, it actually increases your winning percentage by 44%. My wife likes that number. Think about it. If you had a 0% chance, now you almost have a coin flip chance to win just by having these sleeves. Make sure you guys go to TheCaliEffect.com and purchase your sleeves today. Speaking of such, going over some of the good cards that I've noticed throughout the event, Forbidden Droplet was immediately the strongest card in the game. Being able to use it to be able to dodge Draco Tail cards or targeting effects, while also being able to negate cards on the field, Forbidden Droplet by far was the strongest card in the entire game, and I strongly think you guys should consider playing copies inside of your main deck. I also think Dimensional Fissure completely curb stomped the entire Yu-Gi-Oh meta. There is not a single top deck in Yu-Gi-Oh that's not ultra reliant on the graveyard. That means if you are a Yu-Gi-Oh player that's playing something like Malice or Mitsurugi, siding Dimensional Fissures may be advantageous for you. Molchummy Purulia was just about everywhere. It's really good against K9, and the new Draco Tail variant, Draco Tail branded, does have to special summon a lot of times from hand. And then it's also really good against Radiant Typhoon. This card is crazy. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring for so long has been talked about as a card to just counter the Molcharmy cards and stuff like that, but the card is legitimately good when you have to be able to Ash Branded Fusion and Rahu Draco Tail. There's actually so many cards in the game where Ash just feels super impactful alongside of Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. So if you guys are building your Yu-Gi-Oh deck, I would strongly suggest that you play at least 3 copies of Purulia, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of your Ghost Bell and Forbidden Droplet in just about every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck. And then of course, Fuelos, because Fuelos is still Fuelos. If I'm being honest, I would say that Purulia is just a little stronger right now, but that may change when the Yu-Gi-Oh meta develops a little bit more. Some other cards that were really strong throughout the event, DDD Wave High King Caesar was incredible. The Fiendsmith engine is really good at being able to summon this card, and this card can be a complete blowout against the top decks in the game. It can stop Branded Fusion, it can stop Albaz, it can stop Yummy cards. It's literally insane. And throughout the event, I've been seeing this card do some damage. Dominus Impulse feels like a must-play card in Yu-Gi-Oh strategies that can, so if you're playing something like Malice or Mitsurugi, hint hint, then you should 100% be playing Dominus Impulse, and thank you, it is getting a reprint. And some other cards that I noticed actually do a lot better than expected. Mistaken Arrest is Droll and Lockbird for 2 entire turns. I've been saying that for quite some time, but I didn't expect it to be powerful in this format, seeing that Radiant Typhoon cards are typically activated in the draw phase, and if they are going first and activating the Radiant Typhoon cards, then like, you can't droll them, but you can Mistaken Arrest them if you're going first. And lastly, a card that I just thought was sneaky good no matter what deck you played was Radiant Typhoon Vision and Mystical Space Typhoon. I know we're in a big 2026 and MST is a very powerful card. Those have been my top tech cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it also brings me to the next thing. Oh no. TJ and I were wrong, so expect our nails to be painted very soon. As of right now, if I were to make a top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh decks in the game, it would easily go to Vanquish Soul K9 being number 1. Winning 2 YCSs at 2 totally different places definitely makes you a tier 1 deck. It's really no debating. I made a deck profile of pure Vanquish Soul stating that Vanquish Soul K9 didn't really feel good and you guys completely roasted me for it. You are 100% justified at this point. And if I'm being real with you guys, seeing that I'm wrong kind of ignited in flame. It made me want to go into deck building again and seriously put a lot of research and thought into it. So deck profiles might be coming back. Don't hold your breath. Fortunately enough, a lot of concepts that TJ and I were holding to our chests did come into fruition. The second best deck, in my opinion, is Yummy. Whether you're playing the Radiant Typhoon Tri-Brigade version that won the YCS in Richmond, or you're playing the Fiendsmith version that got second place at Guadalajara, I think that both of them are really strong. I want you guys to keep in mind, a lot of people actually abandoned Yummy, so it didn't have the strong representation. Dracotel in Vanquish Soul K9 did. And it does make me question Vanquish Soul K9 because it didn't do well in conversion, but it won 2 YCSs, so I really got my hands tied behind my back here. Third would easily be Dracotel, but Dracotel is the most disappointing deck if you thought it was the tier 1 best Yu-Gi-Oh strategy. But to be honest, if you guys have been following this channel or just at least been following TJ and I in our podcast, we said that Dracotel could never be the best deck in the room. There's way too many counters for this Yu-Gi-Oh strategy. Is it really strong? Oh, of course. Is it the best of the best? It can't. The fourth best deck in the room to me, TJ was 100% right. Lunalight, in my opinion, is crazy strong. It has all of the things going for it. I think once more people jump onto that bandwagon, the strategy will show itself. And lastly, it's a shot in the dark. You guys may say that Malice got snubbed here because Malice is really strong and could be a great direct counter to the strategies that I mentioned before. Personally, I just have more faith in Lunalight because it had way less representation and did more with less. But it could go to either one. I'm going to let you guys let me know down below in the comment section. Technically, that is 5 Yu-Gi-Oh strategies. You could just say Malice and Lunalight right there. The only reason why I'm giving just a little pushback is because Radiant Typhoon is crazy. Not necessarily as a pure Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but as an engine. You'll see Radiant Typhoon being played in decks like Yummy and Malice, but you'll also see it in strategies like Memento, which carried itself to a top 4 finish. It is a ridiculously strong engine that can pivot into just so many other crazy things. So don't sleep on it being the best engine in the format. And now that we're done talking about that, we got to talk about Genesys, because I love Genesys, but I'm not really feeling it. I guess you guys could call this Genesys drama, because there are content creators that have stopped playing Genesys, and I think their sentiments are starting to feel pretty correct. From my perspective, I wasn't impressed with Genesys coverage. I mean, in fact, it didn't really have any real coverage. It felt like there were just random Genesys games placed in between the matches of the main YCS that came at really awkward times. We got like around 5, around 1, around 9.
Like what?
It didn't feel like we were following Genesys, just having it as supplement to be able to buy time, at least from my perspective. The next big thing about Genesys is that there isn't like a huge deck difference. Now, I do say that, and I have to draw back just a little bit. Cool Tunes won a Genesys, which has not happened in a TCG YCS. But most of the topping decks are like Radiant Typhoon or Vanquish Soul. Now, I don't want to go too hard on it because it was a prototype event, so there is a possibility that we will see a bigger event coming up soon and more coverage, but I genuinely think that Konami can step their game up when it comes to these Genesys style events and give it more love. Consequently, I'd also like to see other decks in Genesys. Like, I would like to see more bad Yu-Gi-Oh decks be good because of Genesys design. Not decks like Vanquish Soul and Radiant Typhoon be good simply because they're the best thing from the most recent packs. But with that being said, what you guys have probably came here for, deck lists. There are a few deck lists that I want to show you guys that I think are really, really fun. Of course, I got to show you guys some of the people. Oh, I can't show you the winners just right now, but I am using YugiohProDeck.com, and I will link their deck list as soon as they become available. This is the second place at Dortmund, Danilo Syracusa's deck list. I think that this is a really, really good version of Dracotel, and as you guys can see, there's Mistaken Arrest in here. There's Ghost Mourner in Moonlit Chill. This card's actually pretty good now. There's Effect Veilers, Perulias, and even Artifact Lancia respecting decks like like Malice. If you ask me, this is a pretty standard version of Dracotel, and it's probably really close to what we should be playing. I also like that Incredible Ecclesia can summon out these guys, which in turn summon out more Incredible Ecclesias and are a great going second card, but also are just level 4 tuners, because this card requires a tuner plus non-tuners. So essentially, Lucius gets negated. If your opponent still has more monsters, you summon, well, hello there. Now I can make Ecclesia to summon Cartesia to fuse. It's simple. There was a pure Radiant Typhoon or Radiant Typhoon Fiendsmith deck that topped. This is Gabriel Hertzless, and I love it. Very minimal Fiendsmith engine here because all you really need is that Engraver. That's going to help you be able to make the Wave King Caesar, and like I said, this card is crazy against the top decks in the game. Absolutely love the only 6 hand traps. You got Sheena, you got Ash Blossom, and then in the sideboard, you got everything you need. You even got Great Beast of the Sky. Please hear my cry. For the Lunalight players, I just so happen to have Kevin Gayo's Lunalight deck, and this is what it is. It's actually really strong. I think that this deck can be a genuine threat, and some people have been combining it with Branded because you can use Branded Fusion to bait out Ash Blossom and then go full Lunalight combo. This deck's also really good to hand traps. It's an incredible going second deck, and I think it's one of the better decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is Julius S's yummy Mitsurugi deck, and I actually really like the Gamma idea because spell cards are incredible in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, and being able to use Delta to be able to stop the opponent from doing things and still having the option to Gamma. And then there's cards like Solemn Warning, which is good for stopping, I don't know, Nibiru, Finema, stuff like that, and also stopping your opponent's first summon. Fiendsmith Elf Node also did get a top, and this is Jason Sanchez's Fiendsmith Elf Node deck. TJ should 100% take notes. This actually looks really close to what he played. Maybe he did take notes. Love the Mistaken Arrest. People are really starting to get hip to that card. Then there's Solemn Warning, and I love that Fable, Luzabelle, whatever this card is. Really easy to summon to get you into Fiendsmith combo or take your opponent's cards. There was a Mermail deck that topped, and I think that Mermail is a really strong option because it's a great going second style Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, and it doesn't really play any spells. So immediately you turn off cards like Dracotel Horn, and you have access to cards like Tustudo Irat Newman, which is still a floodgate. Mermail is actually an incredible deck going second and can also do some really cool things when going first. Like hand loop you with Molin Glacia and Minstrel. Don't you guys love that? Malice is still a top contender. This is Alfredo Orlando's build, and this particular deck is still playing Mistaken Arrest. There's Dimensional Fissures, like I said, it's really good into the metagame, and a ton of get that work hand traps. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hand traps in the main deck. That's kind of crazy. No GW0C. I think that Malice has evolved into a totally different Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, but it's really cool to see the deck still be able to be played even with White Binder being banned. Now, the last few profiles just got in and aren't on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Shout out to my man Ben for sending me DB deck list of these profiles so I can share with you guys. This right here is a Canine Fur Hire deck, or a Fur Hire Canine deck. No, I said it right. And as you guys can see, it's pretty standard for a full-fledged Canine for hire deck. My version that I played on Duel Challenge was specifically a more pure version, quote unquote. But no, this one's easily the better version, in case you guys were wondering. I just wanted to play pure. Ben wants me to show you guys Samir Bakar's Mitsurugi top 32 deck from Dortmund. So let's go ahead and visit that one. It is, what in the actual? I love it. One droll. I love it in the main board. That's for the cross out. One droplet for the cross out. Brother's going crazy. Manta's playing Cairn Gorgon. This card prevents players from targeting. That's actually kind of cool. And he's also playing full armored Utopic Ray Lancer and Dingirsu. This is actually one of the funnest decks I've seen. Mitsurugi Pure looks like a really fun deck. That's pretty much it that I have for deck list. I'll have my Discord people post links. We'll even make a channel for people to post links of their topping deck list so you can always get inspiration. As always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll be sure to catch you on the next one.